She earned $500,000 a night, but had a $2,000 allowance. Watched while changing clothes, drugged without consent. This isn't a movie, it's Britney Spears' real life under conservatorship. Here are 20 dirty facts you didn't know, and the last one will absolutely stun you. Let's start with number 20. She was drugged with lithium after refusing to dance Las Vegas. January 2019, Britney Spears says no to a new choreography plan. Within days, she vanishes. She was taken to a mental health facility against her will and placed on lithium, a psychiatric drug used for bipolar disorder. Britney later testified, "It was so strong I felt drunk for weeks." She was held under strict observation, surrounded by nurses 24/7, unable to call friends. But why lithium, and who approved it? Without her consent, she hadn't committed a crime. She'd simply refused a dance step and paid with her freedom. Let's now reveal the moment even her right to become a mother was taken away. Less than 1% of viewers are subscribed. This took serious digging and late nights. If you found it worth your time, subscribing makes the next deep dive possible. Now, moving on to number 19. She couldn't remove her IUD and wasn't allowed to get pregnant in June 2021. Britney's explosive court testimony stunned the world. She said she was forced to keep an IUD. This birth control device had been in her body for years, and she wasn't allowed to remove it. Despite expressing her wish to marry boyfriend Sam Asghari and have children, her conservators, led by father Jamie Spears, refused. Doctors were involved, lawyers knew. She was working, earning millions, and yet couldn't make the most personal choice a woman has. But what would you do if you weren't even allowed to plan your own future? The next twist, Britney didn't just fear control, she feared for her life. Let's dig into number 18. She thought her family was trying to kill her, locked in a facility in 2019. Britney felt something darker than confinement: terror. In court, she said clearly, "I truly believe this conservatorship is abusive. I thought they were trying to kill me." Reports show she had no access to her phone or money. All visitors were vetted. Security staff, paid from her own estate, watched her movements constantly. She wasn't sick, she wasn't violent, she was terrified. If she believed her life was in danger, who could she trust? Next, we reveal what else they monitored, even in places no one should. Moving forward with number 17, she was watched while she changed and never told. In 2021, New York Times released Controlling Britney Spears. What it exposed was chilling. Former security employee Alex Vlasov testified that Britney was under constant audio and visual surveillance, even in her bedroom. It wasn't just for safety, it was control. No privacy, not even when undressing. Can you imagine living under that lens for over a decade? If she had no space to breathe, what about her money? What happened to the empire she built? Time for number 16. She paid her father millions. While begging for freedom, Jamie Spears was paid $16,000 per month as Britney's conservator. She was paid nothing. Between 2008 and 2021, Jamie collected over $6 million. He also approved $500,000 in security contracts and $2 million in legal fees, all charged to Britney's estate. She was given a $2,000 weekly allowance. In contrast, her 2018 tour grossed $54.3 million. She was funding her own prison, but what did she do when silence didn't work anymore? She found one way to speak, a way they didn't expect: hidden, risky, secret. Let's dive into number 15. She smuggled a phone and risked everything to call for help. During her stay in 2019 at the unnamed facility, Britney found a way to contact the outside world. Sources close to her revealed she got a secret burner phone from a friend. With it, she reached her lawyer, former staff, and even attempted to contact a judge. Security later found it. It was confiscated. One phone almost changed everything. Until it was taken, they allegedly mirrored her iPhone and captured recordings. But by then, what she'd lost couldn't be reversed, including the thing she fought hardest for, her children. Next up, number 14. She lost her kids and wasn't allowed to cry in public. In 2007, Britney lost custody of Sean and Jaden after a public breakdown. It wasn't drugs, it wasn't violence, it was postpartum depression and exhaustion, and constant paparazzi. In January 2008, police were called to her home. That same month, she was placed under conservatorship. She only had supervised visits after that, often with bodyguards present. Imagine not hugging your children without permission for years. Yet even that heartbreak wasn't enough for them. The machine needed her working, sick or not. Onward to number 13. She was forced to perform while sick with a 102-degree fever. During her Las Vegas residency, Britney asked to skip a performance. She was unwell, fever, dizziness, nausea. She was told she'd violate her contract. She performed anyway. This was 2018. That year, she made $500,000 per show. Her team earned bonuses. Her fans never knew she was ill. There was no public statement. What kind of contract forces a woman to sing and dance while sick? And yet she wasn't allowed to even choose a simple comfort, like coffee. What came next was even more absurd. Let's continue with number 12. She was banned from sushi and Starbucks. Even on her birthday, imagine being 35 and needing permission to drink coffee. That was Britney's reality. She was denied caffeine, sweets, and fast food. Her favorite meal, sushi and green tea, was reportedly restricted. Even her birthday request had to go through her father's office. Staff had to report all food intake. At one point, she asked for an ice cream cone and was told no, so she couldn't eat what she wanted. Could she at least go where she wanted? Not unless someone else was driving and watching. Now revealing number 11, she couldn't pick her own lawyer for 13 years. From 2008 to 2021, Britney Spears had no legal freedom, not even to choose who defended her. Her court-appointed attorney, Samuel D. Ingham III, earned over $3 million in fees, but never formally challenged the conservatorship. Britney later said, "He never told me I could file to end it." Her request to hire Matthew Rosengart, a former federal prosecutor, was only approved in July 2021. But if she wasn't allowed to speak, who really had her voice all those years? The answer? A person paid to keep her silent, even during rehearsals. Let's open number 10. Her phone calls, therapy, and rehearsals were all transcribed. Britney's life was transcribed. Literally. Her phone calls, text messages, and therapy sessions were monitored and documented. According to whistleblower testimony in 2021, a team from Black Box Security kept logs of who she spoke to, for how long, and what was said. Some of these transcripts were allegedly sent to her father. Even rehearsals weren't safe. Dancers were instructed to report attitude changes and emotional shifts. But what happens when you're watched so closely? Is you start to forget who you are? She tried to escape, not just mentally, physically. Let's continue with number 9. She tried to flee her own home, and no one believed her. In early 2019, Britney reportedly tried to leave the facility where she was being held, a secluded compound in Beverly Hills. She told staff she no longer consented to treatment. That night, she called a friend. "I'm scared. I don't want to be here." Days later, Free Britney fans organized a protest outside City Hall. Still, the public narrative was, she's not well. Mainstream media repeated it. When your truth is dismissed as madness, how do you fight back? With something no one expected. A refusal to smile. Let's uncover number 8. She faked dance moves and wore bad wigs. to signal she was in trouble. During her Vegas residency, fans noticed Britney's routines looked off. Her makeup was smudged, wigs askew, steps out of sync. It wasn't random. In 2023, she revealed it was intentional, her way of saying, "I'm not okay." She even walked off mid-performance once, which tabloids labeled erratic. But to those listening closely, it was code. Help me. But how do you rebel in silence when even your mother sees you perform and says nothing? That silence broke when a book hit the shelves, written by someone very close. Let's turn to number 7. Her mom wrote a tell-all memoir without warning her. In 2008, Lynn Spears released Through the Storm, detailing Britney's personal traumas, exes, and parenting struggles. It sold 125,000 copies in 2 months. Britney, meanwhile, was legally gagged. No right to publish, no right to respond. She later said, "She didn't tell me she was writing it. I found out when it was already out." If your own mother sells your secrets, what would your sister do? Something worse. Something televised. And Britney didn't approve a word. Now, turning to number 6, her sister launched a show and used Britney's name to sell it.
It just makes me sad when I think about my kids. Like, I don't ever want them to feel the pain or the scrutiny that is not necessary and it's not theirs to carry. So I'll carry it.
Jamie Lynn Spears used Britney's fame to promote her memoir, Things I Should Have Said, and the reboot Zoe 102. Interviews were filled with Britney references. Book excerpts implied Britney was unstable. Britney responded online, "You hurt me more than you know." Fans trended number Jamie Lynn Spears lies. Meanwhile, Jamie Lynn denied it all. "I'm just telling my truth." But whose truth matters? When your own father says he owns your identity. Here's about the most chilling quote Britney ever heard. Let's descend into number 5. Her dad said, "I'm Britney Spears now." According to court records, Jamie Spears once told a colleague, "I'm Britney Spears now." He controlled her estate, her performances, her travel, her doctors, and her diet. His signature approved every aspect of her life. From 2008 to 2021, he even profited from her tours. One report shows he made 1.5% of her gross revenue, totaling over $2.1 million from a single tour. When someone steals your identity, how do you reclaim it? By facing the heartbreak that started it all, of a breakup text. We're at number 4. Justin Timberlake dumped her in a text while she was on set in 2002 while filming the video for Overprotected Dark Child remix. Britney received a brief text from Justin. They were done. No phone call. No closure. A few weeks later, he released Cry Me a River, using a Britney lookalike to imply she cheated. He won awards. She stayed silent and cried privately. But what no one knew was, she just lost more than a boyfriend, a choice she never wanted to make. One that haunted her for decades. Let's go deeper with number 3. She aborted Justin's baby and never got to talk about it.
But you recently duetted with Justin Timberlake. What relation is he to you?
It's my boyfriend.
Britney's memoir revealed a shocking truth. She got pregnant with Justin Timberlake's child. She wanted to keep the baby. Justin didn't. They arranged a private abortion at home with no medical support. She said, "I cried for weeks." No interviews mentioned it. No headlines suspected it. And yet she still tried to start over. Through a Hollywood escape plan, she almost made it, until casting director said one name, Rachel McAdams. Almost there. Number 2, she auditioned for The Notebook and broke down after losing it in 2002. Britney auditioned for the role of Allie in The Notebook. Her tape leaked in 2023. It's raw, emotional, arguably better than the final cut. She saw the role as an escape, a fresh start, a way to be seen as an actress, not a headline. The producers praised her, but cast McAdams. Britney later said, "That role would have changed my life." But the truth, she didn't need a movie role to reclaim herself, because she finally did something no one expected. She wrote everything down. Finally, number 1, she wrote the book and told the truth they buried for 20 years. In 2023, Britney released The Woman in Me, a memoir that sold over 2.4 million copies in 2 months. It was raw, clear, unapologetic, every word hers. She revealed secrets about the conservatorship, the music industry, her family, and herself. She wrote chapters while still under control. She hid them, she waited, and finally she published. And the world listened. Before you go, don't miss what they tried even harder to hide. The next video reveals the darkest industry secrets no one talks about. Watch it now before it disappears.